If you are over 60, you may have noticed something subtle yet troubling. Climbing stairs feels heavier, standing from a chair takes longer, or your morning walk is shorter than it used to be. These are not just random inconveniences, they are early signals of sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass and strength that accelerates with age. Research shows that after 60, adults lose about 1% of muscle mass every year, and by 70, nearly 30% of lower body strength may be gone if no action is taken. The legs, being the foundation of balance and independence, are often the first to suffer. Here lies the striking truth. Much of this decline doesn't come from lack of willpower or effort, but from a biological change known as anabolic resistance. As we age, the body becomes less responsive to the normal signals that trigger muscle growth. In younger years, a modest dose of protein can switch on muscle-building pathways, but past 60, the on switch becomes harder to press. Scientists have discovered that it takes a specific amino acid leucine to reach a threshold that activates the body's master growth regulator, known as the mTOR pathway. Without enough leucine at the right time, even if you eat protein, your muscles may not rebuild effectively. This is where a small adjustment to your morning ritual could make a measurable difference. Many people over 60 already start their day with coffee. Imagine if that very moment, instead of being only a comforting habit, became the key to signaling your muscles to wake up and rebuild. By strategically pairing coffee with the right nutrient leucine, you can create conditions that help your legs respond more strongly. This is not a magic trick, nor a quick hack without foundation. It's a science-based approach that taps into how your body's repair systems naturally work after an overnight fast. But before jumping in, it is essential to separate fact from hype. Unlike the oversimplified promise of just add this and get instant results, the real benefit comes when this method is understood, practiced safely, and tailored to your needs. Not everyone should add leucine to coffee, especially those with certain medical conditions or sensitivities. That's why in the next chapters, we'll explore not only the science, but also the practical, safe, and measurable ways you can use this strategy to protect your legs, improve balance, and feel stronger as the years progress. It often surprises people that the earliest signs of aging show up not in the face, but in the legs. Wrinkles may be the most visible marker, but weakness in the thighs and calves is usually the body's first serious warning. The reason is simple. The legs carry more than half of your body's muscle mass and are responsible for nearly all the movements that define independent standing, walking, climbing, balancing. When leg muscles shrink, every daily task feels heavier. Scientific studies confirm that after the age of 60, the quadriceps muscles, the large muscles at the front of the thighs, are among the first to lose strength. This is partly due to natural muscle fiber loss, but also due to reduced nerve stimulation and declining hormone sensitivity. A landmark analysis published in the Journal of Gerontology shows that older adults can lose up to 40% of fast-twitch fibers in the legs, which are the very fibers that give power for quick movements like rising from a chair or preventing a fall. Without intervention, this creates a vicious cycle. Weaker legs mean less activity. Less activity means further muscle loss. And so, the spiral continues. But here is the encouraging part. Muscle loss is not destiny. Research in geriatric nutrition and exercise science has shown that targeted strategies combining nutritional triggers like leucine with resistance activity can effectively slow, stop, or even reverse leg decline. The key lies in understanding that muscles after 60 require a higher signal threshold to respond. Younger bodies can rebuild with small amounts of protein, but older bodies need precise support to reawaken growth pathways. This is where the morning routine becomes so critical. After an overnight fast, your muscles are primed for repair, but vulnerable to breakdown if they don't receive the right input. Adding leucine at this specific window helps reach the threshold your body now requires. Coffee, already a daily habit for many, becomes the delivery vehicle. But as we will discuss, not everyone should rely on caffeine, and there are safe alternatives for sensitive groups. By understanding why the legs weaken first, you gain insight into why the morning ritual approach makes sense. In the next chapter, we'll explore how leucine works inside your cells and why it may be the missing spark your muscles need after 60. To understand why leucine has attracted so much attention in senior health, we need to look at how the body actually decides when to build new muscle. At the center of this process is a molecular pathway known as mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin. You can think of mTOR as the master control switch that tells your body it's time to repair and grow. When mTOR is activated, muscle protein synthesis begins, and your body starts rebuilding the fibers that give your legs strength. Here's the challenge with age. The sensitivity of this switch declines. A small portion of protein that might have triggered muscle growth at 40 is no longer enough at 65. This resistance to stimulation is called anabolic resistance. Without the right amount and type of amino acids, the mTOR pathway stays dim, and muscles continue to shrink even if you're eating what feels like a normal diet. Leucine, a branched-chain amino acid found abundantly in foods like whey protein, soy, beef, and eggs, is unique because it acts as a direct trigger for mTOR. Researchers have identified something called the leucine threshold, the minimum amount required to flip the switch fully on. For younger adults, this threshold is lower, but for older adults, studies suggest it rises to about 2.5 to 3 grams per meal. Without hitting this threshold, the repair signal remains weak, and muscles fail to rebuild efficiently. This is why simply eating enough protein doesn't always protect seniors from muscle loss. Unless each meal or strategic supplement contains enough leucine to surpass the threshold, your body may never receive a strong enough signal to act. Pairing leucine with your morning coffee is less about the caffeine itself and more about taking advantage of the fasted state after sleep, when muscles are primed for repair if the right trigger is present. Still, leucine is not a silver bullet. Taken alone and in excess, it can create imbalances with other amino acids. The real strategy is to view leucine as a spark plug necessary to ignite the engine, but not sufficient to keep it running without fuel. That fuel comes from complete protein, balanced nutrition, and regular movement. In the next chapter, we'll uncover how your morning timing can amplify this effect and why the first hour of your day may hold the greatest power for rebuilding stronger legs. After a full night of sleep, your body is in a unique state. Blood sugar levels are steady but low. Muscles have gone without fuel for several hours, and repair processes are waiting for a clear signal. This is why the first 60 minutes after waking are often called a metabolic golden hour. What you put into your body during this time can either ignite repair or let muscle breakdown continue unchecked. For people over 60, this morning window is even more important. During the night, the body naturally breaks down some muscle proteins to release amino acids for basic functions. If you do nothing in the morning, this breakdown continues, leaving your legs feeling heavier and weaker as the day progresses. By contrast, giving your muscles a leucine-rich boost soon after waking can flip the repair switch at exactly the right time. Coffee enters the picture here, not because of its caffeine alone, but because it is already a well-established ritual. Most older adults drink coffee every morning without fail. That ritual creates a consistent opportunity to pair a new habit with an old one by adding a measured amount of leucine, or better yet, incorporating a leucine-rich protein source. You can transform a simple daily cup into a muscle-supporting intervention. Research suggests that consuming leucine or high-quality protein within 30 to 60 minutes of waking may maximize its effect on muscle protein synthesis. The combination of fasted physiology and a nutrient trigger helps the body shift from an overnight breakdown state into a rebuilding state. For some, this can feel like an energy lift. For others, it shows up gradually as stronger steps and improved balance. However, it's important to acknowledge that not everyone tolerates coffee well. People sensitive to caffeine, those with acid reflux, heart rhythm issues, or high blood pressure may need alternatives such as decaf coffee, herbal tea, or a simple protein shake. The goal is not the caffeine, it is the timing of leucine delivery. When done thoughtfully, this morning practice can help reclaim muscle strength in the legs without requiring drastic lifestyle changes. In the next chapter, we will look more closely at how much leucine is enough, where to get it safely, and why food-based sources may be as powerful as supplements. Now that we understand why leucine acts as the spark for muscle repair, the next question is simple but crucial: how much is enough? Science shows that the body requires a certain threshold dose to activate muscle protein synthesis, and if you fall below it, the signal remains too weak to make a difference. For younger adults, this threshold can be as low as 1.5 to 2 grams per meal. But research in older adults demonstrates that the bar is higher. Most need about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to effectively turn on the mTOR switch. This doesn't mean you need to measure powders obsessively. Understanding the leucine content of common foods can help you meet this goal naturally. For example, whey protein. 2.5 grams of leucine per 25 grams serving. Eggs about 0.5 grams per egg, so 5 to 6 eggs would reach the threshold. Lean beef or chicken, roughly 2 grams per 4-ounce serving. And soy protein or tofu, 2.5 grams per typical portion. Supplements such as leucine powder can provide precision, but they are not the only option and not always the best for long-term balance. Consistently using leucine alone may disrupt the ratio of branched-chain amino acids BCAAs, which can place stress on metabolism if not paired with complete proteins. This is why nutrition experts often recommend focusing on EAA blends, essential amino acids or whole foods that provide leucine alongside its partner nutrients. Another key consideration is distribution. Rather than taking in most of your protein at dinner, which is common in Western diets, Studies show older adults benefit from spreading protein intake evenly across meals. Hitting the leucine threshold in the morning, at lunch, and again in the evening gives your muscles 3 strong repair signals per day instead of 1 weak one. This approach has been linked to better muscle mass retention, stronger legs, and reduced fall risk. In practice, this means you can choose the method that fits your lifestyle: a leucine supplement in morning coffee for precision, a protein shake blended with whey or soy for a food-based option, or a protein-rich breakfast with eggs, yogurt, or fish. The strategy is flexible as long as the leucine threshold is reached consistently. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into why pairing leucine with balanced protein and light resistance activity produces far stronger results than leucine alone, and how to apply this in a safe, sustainable way. Leucine may be the spark that turns on the body's repair machinery, but no engine runs on a spark alone. For muscle growth to truly take place, especially in older legs, there must also be fuel-complete protein and stimulation movement. Without these, the leucine signal fades and the rebuilding process stalls. Complete proteins provide all 9 essential amino acids, not just leucine. Think of leucine as the ignition key. It starts the process, but the other amino acids are the building blocks needed to actually reconstruct muscle fibers. Without those bricks, no amount of signaling can create new strength. That's why food sources like dairy, soy, fish, or lean meats consistently outperform leucine alone when it comes to long-term muscle preservation. Equally important is movement, particularly resistance activity, even at a very light level. Studies in older adults show that combining adequate protein and leucine intake with simple strength exercises such as bodyweight squats, sit-to-stand repetitions, or light resistance bands can double the gains in muscle strength compared to nutrition alone. When muscles are placed under slight tension, the body's repair systems receive a second powerful message. Not only is fuel available, but strength is demanded. The result is more robust protein synthesis, stronger fibers, and more resilient legs. Confidence is the third and perhaps most overlooked outcome. Weakness in the legs often creates fear. Fear of falling, of becoming dependent, of losing control. By tracking and celebrating real improvements, that fear slowly gives way to trust in your body again. You begin to move with more certainty, and that confidence touches every aspect of life, from social interactions to mental health. This is why addressing muscle loss is not cosmetic, it is foundational. When your legs are strong, you not only move better, you live better. Nutrition, leucine, and light movement are not just strategies for the muscles themselves, they are strategies for reclaiming life after 60. In our final chapter, we will bring everything together into a clear, safe, and actionable morning plan, a blueprint you can follow daily to protect your legs and your independence. Now that we've explored the science, the safety, and the real-life benefits, it's time to put everything together into a clear plan you can practice each morning. Think of this as your blueprint for stronger legs after 60, simple, practical, and backed by research. Step 1. Begin with awareness. As you wake up, remind yourself that the first hour sets the tone for your muscles. This is not just another cup of coffee, it's a daily opportunity to protect your independence. Step 2. Choose your base. If you tolerate coffee well, enjoy your usual morning cup. If caffeine triggers issues, go with decaf, green tea, or a small glass of water alongside a protein shake. The beverage is the vehicle. The real key is what you pair with it. Step 3. Add the leucine trigger. Aim for about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. This can come from a supplement measured carefully into your coffee, or from whole foods such as a scoop of whey protein, a serving of Greek yogurt, or a few eggs. The goal is to hit the leucine threshold that activates muscle repair. Step 4. Pair with complete protein. Don't stop at leucine alone. Ensure your breakfast contains at least 25–30 grams of total protein to provide the full building blocks your muscles need. This might be eggs with yogurt, tofu with whole grains, or fish with vegetables. Step 5. Add gentle movement. A short walk, a round of sit-to-stand repetitions, or light resistance band work signals your body that strength is required. This doubles the effectiveness of your nutrition strategy. Step 6. Track and celebrate. Use the 30-second chair stand test, 4-meter walk speed, or calf measurement log from Chapter 8. Seeing measurable progress each week will fuel motivation and show you that the blueprint is working. Remember, this is not a quick fix or a magic hack. It is a structured routine that turns your existing morning ritual into a science-based intervention for leg health. The power lies in consistency, not excess. By practicing this blueprint daily, you give your muscles the signal, the building blocks, and the activity they need to stay strong. Stronger legs mean more than strength alone. They mean balance, freedom, and confidence in every step. And those gifts, independence, joy, and the ability to keep living life on your terms, are worth far more than any supplement.